Now, I think we have a lot more really cool startups going to pitch, because now is the time for the Estonian startup community demo afternoon. You will have around 2 hours of really good pitches from different programs. And to give a more thorough intro about it, it is my pleasure to welcome on the stage Sandra Saarniit, the Startup Community Development Manager from Startup Estonia. If everyone can, yes. There you go.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. It's my second latitude as the Startup Community Development Manager at Startup Estonia, and I have to say that this is the event where you can really see Estonian startup community at its full gear. The great people, ideas, and discussions that happen here are really priceless. The Estonian startup community is still growing, and the sector is growing as well. Estonia is known as the birthplace for unicorns, with our most unicorns and most startups per capita in Europe. And even through the crisis, Estonian startups have managed to last year have a record turnover, as well as surpass the €1 billion line in raising investments. And we're very, very proud, and we like to talk a lot about the successful founders and early employees of unicorns giving back to the community with investments, knowledge, and connections. But there are more people that have contributed to this success story and have put countless of hours into developing the startup sector. And these are the more than 100 startup support organizations in Estonia that provide support starting from idea phase up to scaling. And you can get sector-specific support, you can get legal support, you can get world-class mentoring. And every year we get new organizations joining the community, as well as new programs being created. So the Estonian startup support community and the ecosystem is pretty great already. But how to take the next step and how to keep playing on the world scale? First of all, in order to really create world-changing innovation, we have to develop the deep tech ecosystem here. And this is a word that you have been hearing in this conference probably already since the opening remarks. And we have created this deep tech action plan to keep developing the deep tech ecosystem for the next years, but we cannot do it alone. So to really reach this ambitious goal of 500 deep techs by 2030, we need the contribution from the whole community, and this mindset shift towards supporting innovation coming from research and science. Another important thing that we have to talk about is sustainability. Sustainability and impact are keywords that you will also hear during Latitude many, many times. And besides the flashy unicorns, zebras have entered the scene, and we are looking more and more towards these long-distance runners instead of sprinters that really focus on impact, both social and environmental. And networks is something that has always been important. Estonia has always been punching above its weight, being such a small country. But in order to keep competing for the talent in the world scale, we need to really transition from playing the local game into playing the regional game. And if you think about someone from Brazil, they will, anyways, for them, Tallinn and Helsinki might seem like neighboring villages. So we have started this initiative of developing a Nordic Tech Valley for joining our individual strengths, such as Estonian agility, Finnish funding models, and Swedish long-term view, in order to create this common value proposition and really stand out in the world. But what I really wanted to focus on is diversity. And this is something that, according to several research, such as studies by McKinsey and company, as well as Harvard Business Review, has already shown that we need diverse teams to really make innovation happen, and that the diverse teams are performing much better at solving complex problems, such as what we expect from our startups and our deep techs. In Estonia, 17% of startups are 17% of startup founders are female, which is slightly higher than the European average. And in deep tech, we're doing even better. It's 22%. But still, even though we have great programs for starting from youth, such as AK Unicorn Squad, or for female founders, such as Civitas and Triinkaisk's Challenger Diversity, we still see that female founders in Estonia, fully female-founded teams managed to raise only 0.5% of capital that was raised by Estonian startups, and 6% went to mixed teams. So there's a lot of room for development. And what I would like to leave as the message here is that let's all think about the words that we use when we talk about our programs, making sure that we have diverse selection committees or investment committees. This is something that we can keep thinking about. But what I'm very happy to see is that today we have a lot of diversity here. We have deep tech teams coming to stage. We have teams focusing on impact and sustainability. And thus, I have to say really a big kudos to Tehnopol Startup Incubator, Health Technologies Accelerator, Accelerate Estonia, Beamline Accelerator, and Health Founders, who will all be showcasing what an amazing community has to offer, and all of these teams that will come to the stage. So from my side, I would like to wish good luck for pitching and welcome them here. Thank you.
Hello, hello. Welcome to Latitude59 and welcome to Tehnopol Startup Incubator Demo Day. So before I invite our 5 promising startups on stage, I will do a quickly recap who actually Tehnopol Startup Incubator is. So we are working together with early stage startups, doing a 6 months acceleration program. We have dedicated key mentors for every startup and a great co-working space. And of course, our 140 plus expert mentors to supporting the growth of our startups. So I think I have said pretty quick overview, but if you already are interested, so don't be afraid. I will be here 2 days. We have 2 different demo booths, so you can find out more detail. And of course, it's time to announce that today we actually opened application period for a cyber acceleration program, which will kick it off in September. And we are giving out 48,000 euros equity-free grant for every startup who joins the program. So this is, again, quick recap. And now I think it's time to invite on stage our first startup. But before that, we have a panelist who will have 2 minutes after every pitch to ask questions from our startup. So I'm happy to introduce Rebecca from InVenture. Yes, we can applaud. And we have Wright from Change Ventures. Yes, and our first startup will be focusing on making connection pretty safe in demanding areas.
So, hi everybody. My name is Henry, CEO and co-founder of Veyron, where we are protecting lives with digital communications. As an example, emergency response teams often need to make quick decisions, and having access to a quick glance at the situational picture is very valuable, making their work safer and faster. However, enabling the digital communication for this is difficult, as commercial networks are not reliable and existing private network solutions are not practical. We have created a platform for quickly and rapidly deploying ad hoc hybrid networks for difficult environments. The main component is software suite inside a smartphone, which is paired with a simple and lightweight personal radio for the data link. The concept is extremely simple. We create a local network in the mission area, where each team member acts as a sensor, automatically sharing situational awareness data. And if there is needed to have mission command and control over multiple areas, satellite communication can also be integrated. Our business model is business to business and business to government. And our goal is to make data communication as widely available as two-way voice communication that is used today. The typical revenue for one client we estimate to be around 500,000 for our software and hardware offerings. The market is extremely varied. We already mentioned first responders, but also includes the defense sector, energy sector, maritime, and emerging technologies such as UAVs and others. With previous funding rounds of up to 400,000, we have completed the piloting phase of our defense product in the Estonian Defense Forces, and recently started piloting in the Ukrainian Armed Forces. This has enabled us to verify the technology and the market. As a next step, we are preparing for a seed round for go-to-market execution, and we're targeting 500 up to 700,000 euros of investment. And briefly about our team, we are 7 members, 3 founding members with a broad set of skills from communication to IT to hardware development and also business management side. But thank you for the attention, and I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you so much for a good pitch, and I do think like hardware-enabled software is an area I hear more and more investors talking about as software has become quite saturated. So I think you're in an exciting space. Tell me a little bit about how you sell to this type of clients. If you're selling to governments, for example, I can imagine it's a little bit of a tricky, special way of selling. How do you do that?
So the sales cycle for business to government is always long. However, if you have a product that is very unique and is addressing critical capability, there are ways to make it happen, and which also shows that our pilot projects have been very successful with very good feedback already. So there are ways, but of course, having like a full-scale deployment takes some time, after which the government customer is very stable, which is one positive aspect.
So longer sales cycles, but then instead higher stickiness.
But that's why we're also working on the civilian market with energy companies and so on, so there's 2 revenue streams.
Thank you.
Yeah, actually, I had the same question because product looks sophisticated as many products do in this region, and How long do you think these sales cycles will end up being? Because governments are usually buying through procurements, and they happen annually based on budgets. And how are you going to handle that?
Yep. So, like I mentioned, the situation in Ukraine is a bit unique. They have a very short sales cycle, for example, which is good for testing out and deploying first sets in the field. However, to have like a large growth in different export markets, it will take time, but we are going to substitute that with business-to-business markets. So energy sector, in the mines, for example, also they need this flexible communication solution.
Thank you. Very good.
I don't know if we're out of time.
4 seconds, very fast. Thank you.
I was going to ask about focus. I would also think a little bit about focus, because you're targeting a lot of verticals at the same time. So that was just the final thing.
Currently focusing on defense and then other sectors.
I like it. Thanks. Thank you, Henrik.
Thank you.
So, do you know that actually we have in the sky so many drones that there is actually a traffic? So, next startup will solve this traffic. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kaida, and I represent Tractip, a technology company. A new era of aviation is taking off. We are standing in a moment when the transportation networks will actually integrate the drone systems into the cities of the European Union. It is the fact that in next 7 years, the drones will be at least 160 times bigger than the conventional aircraft fleet in the future. But there is actually a big problem: how to ensure the safety and privacy of the people. Because the integration of unmanned aircraft systems into the sky is not possible by conventional methods. The only practical solution to this problem is a fully automated unmanned traffic control system powered by artificial intelligence. The system consists of the software platform complemented by a ground-based sensor network and a communication platform. The timing is crucial, and the moment is ripe for success. Starting on 26th of January this year, European regulations have established a U-space, a specialized airspace for drones. In Europe alone, the projected spending on drone surveillance and traffic control software will reach 1.5 billion by 2037. Tractip is specialized on drone management software and systems development. Our drone protection system and software is in use by Estonian prison service in Tallinn since 2021. Our aim is to build the first large-scale UTM network in Tallinn and to become one of the pioneering use-based service providers in Europe. We have a very clear vision for the next 5 years, and use-based services will play a major role in that. To achieve our goals, we are seeking for investments about 1.2 million euros. It will allow us to build the necessary infrastructure and to scale up our software. We have a dedicated and experienced team committed to change the future of transportation. And you're welcome to join us on this exciting journey. Thank you.
Thank you. It is indeed true that the drone space is growing super fast, but would like to know who are you competing with, because with that kind of growth, there's also many players entering the same space.
We know that at the moment in the world there are approximately 40 companies who are seriously looking toward providing UTM services or involved in the use space. But this is in the world. But in the regional place, the number of competitors are much lower. And talking about the use space services and the market, it is just opening. The main focus at the moment is on research and development. So we are talking about the future.
Nice. And I was wondering here again a little bit about the go-to-market and what will be sort of your path to acquiring these sort of large, slow customers.
Talking about our approach or the business model, we consider it to be as subscription-based services. And all the drone operators or the companies who will be involved and will be using the use space, so our income will be income for us. So the money will be generated based on the subscription-based users. Mm-hmm.
And who will be the typical customer you will be selling to?
At the moment, the main focus is actually public sector. Okay. But in the future, when the private companies, enterprises will be more involved in drone services, talking about the taxis as well, fully autonomous, then of course the focus from the private sector will more be leaning to the from public to the private sector.
Yeah, I think that will be nice for you because the private sector can obviously often move a lot faster than the public sector.
And there's more money in
so
there.
hopefully when the timing is right, that will be really good for you guys, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Next, I will invite on a stage a startup who will keep a small native language alive.
Hi, I'm Lise from KidioCall. KidioCall helps expat families to develop preschoolers' native language skills and cultural connection via online playgroups with native speakers. We have sold 1,300 such sessions. 300 kids have attended, and with our current prototype, we have made a total revenue of €10,000. We have talked to over 200 expat parents who struggle to either maintain or develop their kids' native language while abroad. Often there are no other native speakers living around. It's hard to get children's books, and language classes are far away. To use KidioCall, you book a session at our website, get a confirmation with a link to the video call, and start the call. After that, you pick a regular group to join in. We engage 3 to 8-year-olds in fun activities that support language development and social skills. It's up to 4 kids, 1 to 2 hours. We play role plays, board games, and even hide and seek. And the kids love it because the activities are based on their interests. This is Mariana. She lives in Sweden. She told us, "My child never refers to me in Estonian, but during Kidio calls, she calls me Emma, mommy in Estonian, and this fills my heart." Together with Tallinn University, we have developed a unique approach and curriculum to engage preschoolers online. We are training our coaches at the Tartu Healthcare College, and this training program can be adapted to any institution and language. There are only around 10,000 expat kids from Estonia, but globally, there are more than 20 million expat preschoolers. Since COVID, virtual childcare and online classes have been on the rise, but we differ by focusing on expats' needs. We use a monthly subscription. Our customer acquisition cost is around €200, and the lifetime value up to 1,800. Currently, we operate as a platform, but by collecting data on the interactions, we'll be able to train a machine learning prototype to help engage preschoolers in the future. We are a core team of 2 with a background in communication and early childhood education. We have 10 coaches working with us. We are looking for a marketeer to join our team. We'll be fundraising end of the year, but for now, we'd really appreciate your feedback to our service. So please use this QR code to test out KidioCall. This was KidioCall. Thank you.
Thank you. Excellent product, much needed, I think. One question, is the content like standardized for all the teachers, or can they come up with what they want to teach these kids?
We have a library of activities that are tested out with different age groups in the online settings. So the teaching of the coaches include also giving them the tools, the library of different activities, and depending on the specific kids and their interests and the vibe of this group, they will pick out activities from this toolbox.
Another quick question I had, how much is the subscription at the moment?
Currently, it's €49 per month for 1 hour weekly.
And up to 4 kids?
So it's for one kid.
One kid.
Yeah,
okay.
This is what a parent pays. It's like a hobby class cost for any other hobby class.
Thank you.
I was also really impressed by the pitch. Thank you for that, and I like the space a lot. One thing that's often a little bit tricky in this space is sort of distribution, and then you're building your brand and really scaling this. What's your plan? What's your hack sort of to really reach a lot of parents? How will you do that?
The one important aspect of the scaling is really this training program, so that when we have a standardized training program, we can reach more coaches, and then we can reach more kids. We can also use the same curriculum and integrate it into kindergartens or daycares. And daycare children can use our service while they're already at the daycare. We will have a pilot for that in the autumn coming up.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, Liis. Next up, we have a startup who will make our life much cleaner, I would say this way.
This is Chris. He works as a product manager in Bolt. He is very focused on his career and don't want to spend his free time on cleaning his flat. That's why his flat looks like this. Hi, I'm Vlad. I'm also work in tech and feel this pain. This is why I created ViceClean, an on-demand home cleaning platform that just works and already helps people here in Tallinn. Turns out there are a lot of people like me and Chris around the world. This year, we operate in Tallinn and scale into Vilnius. Next year, to Portugal. And in the future, we will enter into Latin America with millions of potential customers. Our core team includes experts of building software, people management, business strategy, and cleaning industry. And we plan to scale this year Tallinn and Vilnius, next year Lisbon and Santiago, and our goal is to reach 1 million MRR till the end of 2025. And on the next week, we'll start raising 500K to support our growth. If you are interested, let's talk. And we prepare a special offer for everyone on Latitude59. Please use this promo code to get 15% your first order off. I'm Vlad from ViceClean. Thank you.
Nice. Thank you for that pitch. I was a little bit curious, what's your advantage over sort of the incumbent players and the other competitors in this space? So we have a Finnish company called Fresca, for example, but also, of course, the traditional players.
Okay. I don't know where's my slide with competitors. Our best benchmark is Fresca, a Finnish Series B startup raised about 20 millions. They acquire a Finnish company with 2 million EBITDA margin last month. We are geographically separated. We are planning to scale to underserved market where they are not yet available. They will not grow very fast. And we will make all our operations a little bit more technology because they are a little bit stuck in the past. They start 8 years ago. And now, for us building our AI-driven platform, it's more easier than for them.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and a quick question from me as well. So how do you find these cleaners, and what is the reason they should work with you instead of building their own network of clients?
Yes, as a two-sided platform, we focus on happiness of both sides. Clients who need cleaning and cleaners. Cleaners use ViceClean as a main source of income, but most as a secondary source of income. We find them from publics, then make verification, then make onboarding training to ensure that they will fulfill our standards and follow our guidelines.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So it's time to invite on stage our final startup. So this startup offers innovative solution in investing art.
Hello, my name is Astrid. I'm CEO and co-founder of Canvas AI. I invest in art because it is a big asset class with a global value of $1.7 trillion. But I know about art. I have more than 10 years background in art marketing, working in galleries, auction houses, so it's a safe choice for me. The problem that we are solving in Canvas is that we want to give all of you a chance to invest in art without having background or knowledge in art or art history. At the same time, to have a quality art, we want to give the galleries access to the current technology. Our solution is that today we are already offering all the administration tools for our clients' galleries, including blockchain, so we can have both digital and physical art. We have secondary market for collectors, and we have an art index tool for those who doesn't understand art in numbers. So you can see how different artworks have performed during the past 20 years. And you can see it all in numbers, depending of the mediums. You can see which medium have been most successful, which artists have been most successful, and you can make your decisions by using this tool without knowing anything about art. So we're already working with more than 100 professional artists. We have galleries, we have partnered up, and collectors are actively using our secondary market. We have a strong team. Our founders have background in investing and in art. We have an in-house developers team. Now we make money through commission fees. We make money also through subscription fees. Now we want to add fractional model because even though you can understand it's a good asset class, it's a good revenue good place to invest, but it's still not liquid enough. So many people don't invest because of that. We want to give you a chance to invest in art starting with 10 euros or even less. So instead of buying one artwork, you buy a piece of that. And you can trade this asset in secondary market and leave the physical art sales for professionals. This model is proved by our bigger competitor, Masterworks.io. You can Google it, and you can see their unicorn company, and their clients are making 3 times more profit than trading in stock market. So we invite you to invest in us. We are raising 100 up to 300,000 to add the fractional art model tools and also to expand UK European market. Thank you.
Really cool pitch, an amazing traction, it seems, like very impressive. I was wondering a little bit how you ensure like high quality and how do you go about having the best sort of...
Of course. That's why we work and partner up with auction houses and quality galleries, because they already provide quality art, and nothing that hasn't been monitored doesn't go up in our page. And we have been in the market 3 years, and with these first 2 years, we basically gained trust and built these relations.
Super cool. And we've actually invested in a similar platform, but for music, where you can also own a big piece of a music piece. So I like this space a lot. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed, good start. One question. If I now own a fractional piece of art and I need to sell it, how it's going to be priced and how quickly can I get my money back?
It depends. Of course, there are different solutions. We want to give 2 solutions. One solution is that partner up with auction houses, and it works like that there are works that are going to be listed in auction. Galleries will select them, and we will list them with a minimum price, the reserve price. So we can't control how much it can make profit, but it can make profit, let's say 20%, but it can make also profit 300%. So you can go and see in Art Index, really, the history of the auction houses. And when this work is sold, you will make your profit.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So it's time to say it's a wrap from Tehnopol Startup Incubator Demo Day. I will thank you, Rebecca. I will thank you, Rait, for joining and being a panelist and asking questions from our amazing startups. So startups in the crowd, if you're interested of joining Startup Incubator program or you're interested what we're actually doing, feel free to reach me out. Feel free to go startupincubator.ee and you can find all the information what you need. So thank you for joining, and it's a wrap.
Hi ja video on tal kõrval. Ok, aitäh. 2021. 2 aastat tagasi.
Hi, I will try again. Hi, my name is Marlene. As you can probably realize from my sweater, I'm also from Tehnopol Startup Incubator. We do have a lot of awesome accelerators going on, and one example is the Health Tech Accelerator that we're doing together with University of Tartu, TalTech, and Tartu Science Park. Today you're going to see 5 teams from that accelerator. They're all awesome. They've all done massive amount of research with their products, and they're all great. So I hope you will enjoy them. And now it's time for the first team. But before we get to the business, thank you for joining us. 2 panelists. We have Kalev Karna from Super Angel and Erki Mölder from Health Founders. Thank you. And now, please, the first team, Vektio-Pep.
Hello, my name is Kaido from Vektio-Pep. And I would like to tell you how we turned corona vaccines into cancer vaccine. But I'm going to start with bad news. Did you know that 1 in every 2 women and 1 out of every 3 men will develop cancer once during their lifetime? Many of these people are being treated with chemotherapy, which unfortunately is not a good solution. Recently, luckily, in recent years, a new type of therapy has emerged that helps our own immune system to fight and kill cancer. It is called immunotherapy. Immunotherapies are a huge and very fast-growing field. I am currently proposing a biotech solution that enables completely new type of cancer immunotherapy by using mRNA. You may remember the word mRNA from recent corona pandemic, and you also may know that the companies Moderna and BioNTech earned a lot of money with their mRNA vaccines. Well, we can turn those vaccines into cancer treatment because we invented a tool that transports mRNA into specific tissues in the patients. Our greatest competitors, Moderna and BioNTech, their technology cannot achieve such specificity. In our hands, mRNA can do more than just prevent simple infections. It can actually treat cancer. And in preclinical models, we've proven that we can treat melanoma and carcinoma. Me and Piret, hi Piret, we founded the company Vektio-Pep. And we are experienced researchers in the field of drug delivery. Maybe one example of our expertise is that the Estonian biotech company Icosagen is actually currently using our technology for the production of therapeutic antibodies. And we are very lucky to have onboarded highly experienced team. Toomas and Meelis are behind our business development, and Katrin Kaarna has 20 years of experience in clinical development. Our business model to out-license our technology to the pharma companies, together with our delivery technology and their mRNA, we will co-develop cancer immunotherapeutics. The revenue will be generated through the licensing deals. At the moment, we've validated our technology at preclinical level, but we would like to scale from preclinical to clinical. That's why we are seeking seed capital. In subsequent Series A funding, we will complete the first-in-man clinical trials, and from that point on, we're ready to out-license our technology. Thank you for your attention, and if you think of investing in VectorPep, please don't hesitate to contact us.
So we decided with Erki that instead of good cup and bad cup, you're going to get 2 bad cups.
Yeah, greetings from me as well. So my comment is that in the deep tech field, intellectual property, super important. And I didn't hear a word about that. Probably
it was patent pending somewhere. I saw that.
Yeah. I was very much listening and didn't pay attention to everything. But this was one thing that I didn't see in the slides.
Yeah, I agree that also from my standpoint that I generally understand that you mentioned Moderna that a potential licensee, but this is like one company, like too little for me to understand that which guys you are already talking or how this stuff, what you are doing, is fitting into their strategy of portfolio development, and who are the other guys doing something similar. Because of mRNA Moderna success, I assume that there are guys out there like thinking about it, the similar stuff. So none of that was on your deck, which makes me kind of wonder, have you even done some research, or who have the closest patents, like but you are patent pending, so that you have done some search. So which were the closest guys whom you should be afraid of, or whom you could sell it like? So that would be.
And the third point is that yes, I don't doubt that Estonians are really clever and good scientists and business people, but I'm not sure that you can get the whole way with the Estonian team. So maybe you can kind of expand the team a little bit and get new expertise in from the other parts of the world as well.
Yeah, thank you. These are our comments.
Thank you, VectorPep. Next up, please welcome on the stage Silklytics.
Hi, I'm Marine, co-founder of Silklytics. The problem that we are solving is actually that farmers can lose up 30% of their crop yield every year because they add these minerals to plants and soil too late. And the reason for that is actually the existing technology on the market at the moment. They need to send samples to the lab. There they have to measure it with these complicated machines or these liquid kits that need specialists. And it can take 10 days. Or you have on the market these simple on-the-spot methods, but they are too low in accuracy. So we would need the test that is giving quickly results, is simple to use, and high accuracy. And in Silklytics, we developed it. We put a whole lab on a one chip. You only need to put it into a reader, you will get out the results, and what the farmer has to do is collect the plant, squeeze the liquid out of it. The secret sauce is our innovative material for the chip and the technology to put several technologies onto one chip, and it's working automatically. And you can also measure several compounds at the same time on a one chip. Our go-to-market strategy is to start from hydroponics and water industry, because we are starting from water sample, and we are doing it here in Estonia to do the client validation. Then we will go to Europe, United States, and Asia market in the same water and agriculture industry. We are changing the sample type to soil as well and measuring several compounds on it. Our technology has also very high potential for the clinical and health and wellness markets, and there are several problems that are critical. At the moment, we are raising this and next year. This year, we are doing the prototype validation with clients, and next year, we are setting up the production line for the product. And we are also doing the research development blood endurance samples to go to wellness market. This year, we raise 150K, next year, 300K. In our team, there are 3 founders, me, Hanno, and Indrek. Our background is microfluidics, chemistry, biomedical engineering, and financial management. There are more 2 members. Thank you. Looking for investors.
You want to go first?
Yes, I can go first. So basically,
this is the chip.
To the audience also, that what we are doing with Erki here is to deep dive into the head of the investor, but how we look at the pitch, and this way you learn more than one random question.
Thank you.
So biggest concern from investor standpoint is that I like the vision that the big markets, but going to 2 directions simultaneously, it's a hell of a headache that I have never seen it work. That either pick one and say that we'll do the other later when we have some proven track record, because selling to so different markets, it scares me as an investor.
So market is really important.
Yeah.
And technology is important, but actually the teams are more like selling the trust, selling the ability of the team. I saw here only the technical capabilities. The technology does not take you to the market, so I'm a little bit worried about the team, that can they really go to the market? Can they understand what has to be done? So this is another, let's say, red flag for me.
Yeah, okay. True. But both of the markets you were talking about, that it's and that was also slightly confusing. That do you plan to manufacture everything yourself, or you do like build a plant, or can you subcontract the production, and then how do you protect that this somebody else is not copying it, and so forth. And also for me, as I digged into the agriculture field, then these lab tested samples, they don't use it actually for daily decision making. For daily decision making, should I put minerals into soil or not? They are done using different methodologies and different data points. So that was also confusing and showed me that you don't understand the agriculture business too much.
Maybe last point is that during the presentation, breathe, make pauses, and don't use the words that you can expect that everybody understands. Don't open the topics that you cannot solve within the 3 minutes. Keep it as simple as possible.
And thank you.
Thank you very much, Selfletics, and our dear panelists. Next up, please, Kekoa.
Good afternoon. My name is Tanel. I'm representing Kekoa. What is Kekoa? We're a personalized healthcare project with the goal of banking your microbiota. Microbiota is the more than 100 trillion microbes that live inside you, and they work every day to control your digestion, your immune system, and even regulate how you think every day. There are of more than 1,000 species, and this balance is crucial for your everyday health. However, taking drugs and antibiotics, this crucial balance gets disturbed, leading to dysbiosis. Considering that antibiotics use and consumption of various drugs is rapidly increasing, and more importantly, broad-spectrum antibiotics consumption in Estonia has increased drastically in the past 15 years, dysbiosis is an increasing problem. Furthermore, it's not only the drugs, but various other effectors like lifestyle that can lead to dysbiosis and symptoms that you have all experienced. Or even worse, can lead to a diseases that are rather common and have little effective treatment. So Kekoa comes with a solution. We want to bank your personal microbiota into a pill, and it would be administered upon a problem to reset your gut. We have divided the project into 2 phases. In the first phase, we would build a microbiota collection and storage kit that would then enable to build a personalized service for microbiota or gut reset. The product itself, the microbiota isolation kit, could also be productized to all the players in the human microbiota field. It would just make a very cumbersome process very simple. But for us, most importantly, it would make an extensive, elaborate process inexpensive and would allow us to go to the masses. The service itself, we would start with a small group, a small target group consuming antibiotics, but next we'll move to probiotics consumers. Probiotics market is huge and growing with extensive speed. And last, we could test gut reset in a clinical setting, providing even more value to Kekor project. So these are the two phases. This year we hope to complete building the kit to then move into delivering the personalized microbiota banking service to patients or all of you in the next 18 to 24 months. The team combines two experienced scientists with long academic background and experience in mid-sized biotech and pharma, and a very experienced business development person. We are expanding, we are looking for partners, open for collaborations, and looking for seed money to bring personalized microbiota banking to all of you. Thank you.
Alrighty, thank you very much. So let me start. I very much liked actually the setup, that it is a big market, big problem. That was good.
Yeah, even for a thumb user like me, explaining the problem.
The problems actually raised for me, or started to raise me, and kind of, I understand that this is the center of the universe, like you presented. Nothing about competitors, nothing about what's outside. Everything was about you, everything was about your product. But it has to fit into some kind of environment, and there was no description about that.
Another problem was that logic of your story didn't flow, because you started with business to consumer, then you showed that your first step is actually business to business, and the second step is business to consumer. And you didn't tell me anything why hospitals have right now problems with identifying the bioma in my gut. So there's no competition, no reason why they should need personalized solution. So your story didn't make sense to me.
And again, no mentions about the patents, IP, that might be interesting or important.
Yeah, and these were like the main thing which were confusing, and also like the beginning. If your main market is B2B, then setting up a problem that what the hospitals, what kind of problems they have, and make it quicker. But in essence, but good stuff in my gut help make me healthier. You can say it in 2 sentences, and everybody understands that. And the antibiotics killing the bacteria and microbiome in my gut. That this is like pretty evident, and you don't have to spend too much time on it.
Yeah, and if the problem is big enough, and if I have some faith in the team, I would take certainly the next meeting. Mm-hmm. But I would expect much better preparation and flow of the story during the longer discussion.
Yeah, Mart Ustav Jr. was definitely a guy because of whom I would take the call.
Thanks a lot to Kekwa and Erki and Kalev. Please, next up on the stage, his address.
Hello, my name is Karin. I'm a CEO and co-founder of Esadress, which is a University of Tartu startup, and we are a deep tech company. And we have a solution for the treatment of chronic wounds and wound infections, and our dressings not only help to fight against bacteria, but they also help the wounds to heal. So the problem is that all wounds may consist of bacteria, and there is a risk for the development of infection. The longer the wound has existed, the higher the risk. And it is a specifically problem for the elderly people. And it's a major problem for the society due to the health problems it causes to the patients, as well as high healthcare costs. And currently there are no good treatment options available, and the available ones suffer from toxicity and too low drug concentrations in the wound. We have a solution for the problem. We develop dressings that help the wounds to heal, and we have a technology that enables to produce fibrous matrices that resemble the structure of the skin, and we are able to put their antimicrobial as well as wound healing agents into those structures. We have one patent application in pending and the second one in filing. And due to the population aging, the problem is growing and the market is growing. Nobody on the market at the moment is doing exactly what we are doing. We may consider other competitors, potential ones, who use the same technology to produce skin wound dressings. However, nobody is doing oral wound dressings. We will start with this. However, our solution also is capable of resolving the other problems that the competitors are doing. As I said, we start off with the oral wound dressings, and this is our first product that we develop. But we have the technology and know-how that we will provide advanced therapy at the hospital level, and we provide personalized wound dressings, and we make them according to the patient's individual need. We have a team that consists of 5 persons. They have different background in different areas, and we collaborate with clinicians as well as manufacturers and veterinarians, and we have business as well as clinical trial advisors. We do B2B model, and we have first potential client already on board. And we have today funding obtained for a development grant, and we have clear plans how to move on research-wise as well as business-wise, and that today we are looking for collaboration consultation partners who have expertise in the area of bringing wound care products on the market, and thank you for your attention.
You want to go first?
Brief and threw out some slides. I was thinking that you have this typical dilemma that you have to start from somewhere, but then you have to show a big picture. So it would have made sense maybe for me to say that you go for the dental clinics, that your first customer, that you're solving this problem they can't solve right now, that the infections in the mouth and wounds in the mouth, and the same stuff. If we take that market, we can go to the other markets also. We have proven like this is a quick money they are willing to pay, and so forth, and show me the vision how you go from there, like a big small scooter to Tesla, like and the focus is on this dental stuff. And also I didn't quite understand like how much you need. Can everything be manufactured by some partner, and then how you protect it? That if all the manufacturing is made by partner, what's your protection, and how you make it work? And yeah, that part.
So there is a term called dog's dinner. So I got a feeling that this presentation was about a little bit about everything. I take a grab here and bite here and bite here and bite here. It didn't flow. The team has, yes, different research background, but very little business. What is super important in the medtech field is the regulatory. Nothing about regulatory. There was some ideas about the clinical research and about the technology research, yes, but very few regulatory and very few business topics.
Yeah. But in essence, I think there is something that, if I would invest in that field, I would be interested to learn slightly more. But yeah, too many red flags to kind of take it too seriously.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And last but not least, please welcome on the stage Augmental.
Oh, sorry. 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 So hi, my name is Ellie, and I'm a co-founder at Augmental. We help physiotherapists and their patients visualize movement and progress through AI-powered software. So 1 out of every 3 people is in need in physiotherapy services. But there's not enough physiotherapists to meet the demand. And due to aging population, the problem is actually growing. So is the market for physiotherapy services. Current practices rely heavily on manual processes, and they require physical presence mostly. And we plan to automate as many steps as possible so that we can serve more, physiotherapists can serve more patients, reduce wait times, and provide fast and asynchronous communication, and thus happier patients. So, all you need to have is a smartphone. You can record a physiotherapy session, and computer vision algorithms will extract data automatically, movement data. And we will build an intuitive web application that will foster this progress management and communication. So what gets measured gets improved, right? So we will enable dashboards that will provide physiotherapists and patients to set clear goals and set specific metrics to follow. And this will enhance the collaboration, the accountability, and motivation to adhere to the training plan, because this is one of the biggest problems. So we believe that we have positioned ourselves well in the competitive landscape. We will bridge the gaps of the competition and provide new, unique features. Our long-term vision is quite ambitious, so we plan to combine data from different sources and build more intelligent systems like digital twins and AI physiotherapists. We will start from physiotherapy clinics, practices, and sports clubs, and we will provide our software as a service. We have conducted interviews and received strong interest in moving forward with the pilots, and we are participating in 2 accelerated programs. Currently, we are at the minimum viable product building phase, and we plan to pilot by the end of the summer. Our team is experienced in computer vision and computer science, machine learning, and software engineering, but also we're experienced in business development, management, and sales. So we have felt the pain of being injured, and we're extremely determined to innovate physiotherapy. Our ask is 500,000 euros to attack our goals. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that. My problem with this is that I have seen at least 20 very similar things showing very similar logic. So from the technology point of view, it's a commodity.
Or it looks like a commodity that if all the guys look similar, you have to work extra hard to explain that why, even if it looks similar, you are a totally different thing, or you have a significant advantage over any other who has done these quite simple models of based on video saying what behavior is.
The second thing I would like to say is that these platforms or these type of platforms tend to be very regional or very country specific. So this would really be a problem for me as a fund to believe that this can jump over the borders. So the scalability for me is super big question.
Yeah, true. And from a good side, I like the videos. So maybe you can throughout the first beginning, because the videos was powerful. I could understand what the hell you are doing, and maybe give me some more numbers that based on this information, like I can have 2 things, that I can double the number of exercises people actually do, because otherwise they do it only in the office. And from the physiotherapist side, it will keep me like 1 hour every day for whatever documentation and blah, blah, blah. That give me some numbers, what's the positive outcome and why these guys are willing to buy. And also, I would like to slightly more learn about these pilots and how you are going, how exactly as Erkki was saying, that how you are going to get to international markets, because all the physiotherapists, getting them one by one, it's hell of a slow task and job. And
maybe the last thing I would like to point out is that I didn't see the delta or the difference. What's the difference between using the platform and not using the platform? Is there any clinical development, or is it just cost saving?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And as I said, you got 2 bad cups instead of good and the bad one. And I hope that this format helped you to understand how we think, how we look. We see so many pitches, so we have to decide fast, and it's a business of saying no. So if we have more than like 2 red flags, usually okay-ish. Anything 3 or 4, quick no, and let's move on.
So thank you very much for all the teams, and I told you they're awesome, even though Erki and Kalev took being the bad cups really seriously. Now Accelerate Estonia is going to continue, so thanks for all of you. If you're interested in the teams, please find them here, walking around Latitude. If you're a startup, please come to Tehnopol Startup Incubator. And thanks a lot. A round of an applause for the teams and the panelists, please. Thanks.
All right, good afternoon to everybody from a government organization that likes to ask a very strange question from private sector companies. And you might think about what this question would be, and I already have the answer right over here. So the question that we ask every day from a private sector company is, as again, a government institution, is that if we would give you the country, then what would you do with this? If you think about Estonia itself, then if you would stop people on a street and would ask, especially the foreigners, what would be the first thing that you know about Estonia? The main things usually would be innovation, technology, cybersecurity. But we really want to push innovation on a new level. And a new level meaning that also Estonian economic system would very much benefit from that side as well. When you think about in general, like 90% of the companies that function in the market never need us, never need an organization called Accelerate Estonia. And then there is 10% of companies that very much need us. And what's the reason? The reason is that if they want to boost their innovation, there are some kind of legal barriers that is totally blocking this solution to be implemented in market. And I was very, very happy when I was listening to different kind of keynotes and also just panel discussions both yesterday and also today, where they were discussing that what we do in a governmental sector in many, many countries is that we are over-regulating things, obviously, and regulating things before we actually know what are the benefits coming from the technology. So we regulate first and then we analyze. And that should never be the right practice. So what we would like to do, and what we do at Accelerate Estonia, is that we are looking for these crazy moonshot ideas, these ideas that could actually change something like systematic in Estonian, again, the public sector, or just in general, like in our market here. You might think about what do we actually do or how do we do these things as well. As I said, we are governmental organizations, and if there is anybody who has worked in the governmental sector, you also know that if you're a decision maker, even in a private sector, if you're a decision maker, top level expert, there is so much information usually on your table that it's sometimes very hard to, kind of focus on specific things. And we want to be this institution that is helping to validate the ideas so that when they get to the table of undersecretaries, permanent secretaries, even the minister, or also the government itself, then we would already have a proven data so that they would be, again, willing to make decisions much more easier, and everything that they would make the decisions for would be also based on the actual information. So we built the better collaboration between public and private sector, and of course the main thing that needs to be there of the companies that we work with are the regulatory barriers. And I'm pretty sure, if I may ask you here in the room, people who work in private sector companies, that how many of you have been facing some of the legal barriers that have stopped your innovation, or you have been doing lobbying in order to push your innovation to work in the States? I don't know, again, which sectors you work here, but if I would ask you to raise the hands, I'm pretty sure there would be plenty of the hands as well, that you would say something was needed to be changed in order to implement our solution in the market. And the other way, or how we actually do this, like I said, that we are removing the systematic barriers, but we are also delivering a country-scale pilot. So together with these companies that we work with, we try to pilot their solutions for 6 months to have the proven data so that we could change these laws that are totally blocking their solutions in the market. So what do we offer for entrepreneurs? And I can tell you that we are looking for the new ideas and new companies who would like to work with Estonia. And we don't limit ourselves just internally to Estonian companies, but especially also welcoming all the foreign companies. If they have something that they have been trying to launch, let's say in Germany, in US, in UK, and they haven't been able to do that, then they could actually come all the way here and run the pilot with Estonia. So as providing a country as a sandbox. So we are validating the ideas, being like the inside man for these companies in the governmental sector, and then, as I said, also helping them to reach the global markets as well with their solution. And then for the public sector perspective here, like I said, there is tons of different ideas that one needs to, approve. Or again, as an undersecretary, you receive emails that would ask some kind of approval as well. But it's so hard to say if you should work with this company or no. That's why we would like to be there and helping, again, the validation process, help these governments to save time and money, and of course also increase labor, taxes, and foreign investments also to Estonia by working with these companies. And as a last slide, just a very quick overview here that we're working different 4 phases, where we, as the final stage here, also have the Discover Moonshot phase for 6 months. But what we do today here is that we're happy to welcome 4 different companies that have been also answering this question that I raised in the very beginning, so that what would they do with a country, so that you will find out what these 4 companies that already have been working with us, and 2 of them that are currently working with us, have been answering to this question. So I'm very, very happy to ask Mart-Erik from a company called Latitude59 to the stage here.
Hi everybody, glad to be here. So, my name is Mart-Erik. I'm co-founder and CEO of Shelltex, a materials technology company specialized in the production of nanofibers. Drug development, wound care, advanced wound care, cell-cultured meat. What do these things have in common? They all utilize industrial-scale mammalian cell culture and tissue engineering, which historically has been super complex because they utilize specialty materials that are expensive, not mass producible. So actually these industries could grow much quicker if these problems would be solved. So that's exactly what Shelltex is doing. We are providing a cost-effective, high-performance, nanofibrous materials for companies who can grow cells and tissues in large scale. The best example is cultured meat. I'm going to focus a little bit on that later. But essentially, they require these type of materials with a fraction of a cost currently available. These products in cultured meat play a same role as an extracellular matrix plays in a native tissue. So it brings the cells together to make up a tissue. And as you can see, these structures are very small on a nanoscale. That's why the nanofibers are the way to do it. And one of the biggest benefits what Shelltex is bringing on the table, besides actually delivering these materials on scale, is that our materials, as you can see in the center, are much more similar to a native extracellular matrix found in every tissue in comparison to regular electrospun nanofibers. And it all comes down to our proprietary patented production technology, halo spinning. Halo spinning is a means how to reduce the cost of nanofibers. We have developed this technology, and yes, like I said, it's now patented, and it's where the price or cost reduction comes from is that the current state-of-the-art electrospinning, this machine costs 8 million euros and produces with a rate of 360 grams of material per hour, whereas our industrial machine has a capability of producing 5 kilograms per hour, and the initial investment required is around 200,000 euros. So combining these two aspects, much lower initial investment and much higher throughput, we're able to reduce the cost of nanofibers more than 90%, opening these materials to the markets never before dreamed of, such as cell-based meat. If you think about cell-cultured meat is super complex product. We grow the cells for food. So far, the cells have been grown to produce, vaccines and stuff like that. But our technology really enables cultured meat to become a reality. The market is there already today for scaffold and microcarriers, but novel high-growth markets such as cultured meat open up new market opportunities for companies such as Shalatex. So this is the total addressable market, as you can see, reaches more than 10 billion in less than 10 years. We're a team of experts with a background in B2B sales, business development, material science, materials technology, mechanical engineering, as well as we've designed and built all the equipment ourselves. My background is in material science, and been previously supported by Techstars, among others. We have received many sustainability-related awards, such as Green Alley Award and Climate Launchpad. And currently, we're raising 4.5 million euros. So if you're an investor and looking to join us on our journey to make industrial tissue engineering and cell culture a reality, come talk to me. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mert-Erik. I'm happy to now welcome on the stage Tommaso. He works in a very similar sector, actually, a company named Aio. So he's going to also pitch you what kind of awesome things they do as well here. So join me.
Thank you. Thank you for the introduction. I'm Tommaso Tagliani. I'm a research engineer for Aio, and this is going by itself. And who is Aio? We are the future-shaping fats and oils startup. I would like to start a bit harsh, saying that our current food system is broken, but of course we know it, otherwise we wouldn't be here. But what really makes us go nuts is that it's unsustainable, unhealthy, wasteful, and cruel. On the other hand, luckily, people are actively embracing alternatives. And for example, the meat alternative market is expected to grow in 2050 to 1 trillion euros. And in this market, fats and oil are essential for flavor, texture, and nutritional value. And this is where we bring our solution. We are producing fats and oils with less footprint, with a circular economy-based value chain, bringing products that are healthy and economically viable. But how do we do it? We are literally brewing fats and oils. We use sustainable materials that we upcycle from low-value byproducts, and we transform them with our tailored precision fermentation technologies into lipid-rich biomass that then can be either be dried, obtaining our encapsulated oil, or the oil can be further extracted, obtaining our red oil and battery fat. And these can not only be useful for food and feed applications, but they can also substitute petrochemical oils that sometimes are found in cosmetics and in household chemicals. These are our products, for now, our main products. Their characteristics are that they are non-GMO, rich in antioxidants and omega-3, and everybody needs omega-3s, and they don't contain those evil trans fatty acids. Moreover, keep in mind, everything is completely vegan. But let's bring an example of what we can do with Aio. For example, if we take only 7% of agricultural waste in Brazil, with our technology, we are already able to replace 30% of today's palm oil use, mitigating 100 million tons of global CO2. Now, let's go together through the history and prospects of Aio. We are 1 year old. We were born in January 2022 with an IP agreement with Taltech. And in 1 year, we managed to raise 1 million euros And among all, we are collaborating with some big colossi like Cargill and Fibenol, and a special thanks goes to Accelerate Estonia that is making this delightful afternoon and is also helping us for the novel food permit. As of now, we are scaling up to the cubic meter volumes. We are having our first customer feedbacks that, spoiler alert, they are good. And we are also testing some pilots with clients, and we have more than 35 companies interested that hopefully from these days will be even more. As for next year, we are planning to close Series A investment series and start to license our production and close 2 ongoing patents. For 2026, we will get the novel food certificate, and we will have our production facility operational with revenues of 5 million euros. The 5 years plan is to have our tailor-made fats and oil platform online, scaling up the production that linearly will scale up the revenue, have our own IP family, and have our products cheaper than coconut oil. Now, some words about our team. We are 3 people dedicated to research and production, and we have a CIO, marketing and sales specialist. We have a regulation and IP specialist, and of course, our 2 co-founders and co-CEO, Nemaila and Petri. That it's like a big family. I would like to spend some seconds because I've been working there for a month already, and I'm very happy with where I ended up. I would say that we are very open-minded, future-driven, and very, very knowledgeable people around me. So now it's your turn to join our mission to change the fate of food. Of course, we're looking for investments, but we are also looking for collaborators and great ideas and to make great products from food and cosmetic industry. This is Eyo, and thank you very much for your attention.
Also Tommaso. So Aio and Gelatex are both the companies that are working in our experimental teams in novel foods. And if you think about the novel food sector, then of course everybody wants that their food that they eat is very, again, the security of the food, if I would say so, has to be on a very high level. But in order to get this kind of licenses and everything, it's very unregulated sector in Estonia today. So that's why also we are in the experimental team with these 2 companies in order to really help this sector to bloom and so that they could get their things done much easier than they would have to deal by themselves. Now, as a third company, I'm happy to ask here René. He works in a company called Thomas, and he's going to tell you what they were up to with us as well.
Hello, everyone. I'm René. I'm going to take you to a short journey through some technologies that I think are pivotal to achieving green construction. So you probably know construction is pretty damaging to the planet. Buildings and construction produce about 40% of all our CO2. Construction is the biggest sector that uses the most amount of materials in the world. But besides of being damaging to the planet, it's not doing so well in actually solving other crises, such as housing crisis. So we see that constantly rising housing prices everywhere. Why is that? Construction is pretty inefficient. I mean, compared to other production systems like for your mobile phone or for the chair, where the productivity always rises. Construction has stayed flat since 1990s or even decreased. So some say that we should build houses more like we build cars. It means we build it in the factories, we assemble it in the factories, we build it out of components, we can put it together, we can take it apart, which means a perfect foundation for the circular construction sector. We can use the same components in different houses. If we dismantle one house, we can build another house from the same components. Doesn't really mean that all the houses have to look the same. Using clever combinatorics, we can use the same kit of parts, the same amount of components, to build houses that are customizable to user needs, but also localized to the neighborhood. So building buildings more like cars is not really a solution for the planet. It's for us, but doesn't necessarily mean that we actually do good for the climate or for the environment. So we also have to consider how we resource materials. So if we do those two things, we actually use the built environment as the resource for materials, reuse it within the built environment. Take as little as possible from the nature, preferably grown materials, because they grow back, right? And also figure out how do we put materials that fall out of use back into the natural material cycles. We are the winners. I'm a huge fan of timber buildings. So I know timber buildings can be 5 times lighter than concrete buildings. So imagine what it do to circular construction where we have to relocate modules now and then again. But not only it's the efficiency question, it's also timber buildings and buildings out of biogenic materials are good for us. So it's good for our well-being. They create great indoor climates. Scientific studies show that actually our focus in timber buildings is much better. Why shouldn't we build our schools and kindergartens out of those materials? Okay, enough of talk, of theory. So we already done first pilots. So this is an electric building. It's a training center close to Tallinn. Will be built over this summer. So it's made out of components. You can put it together, you can take it apart, or you can easily extend it. It will be built over 2 months. Compare that to the traditional cycle of construction of 1 year. That's where the efficiency would come from. Other buildings are at the design stage. We have 2 kindergartens in northern Tallinn, currently being designed, hopefully will be built in a couple of years' time. At the same time, we are adding more technology. We're looking at more biogenic materials, how to integrate it into factory production, also integration of solar power into the building. To power all of that, we need digital technologies. So we need to control the supply chain, we need to bring the supply and demand together. At Creatimus, we developed a technology that connects design to manufacturing. So imagine using a tool that you can use to design a perfect modular house. At the design time, you can actually see how much materials it has, what's the carbon footprint of it, what's the cost of it. And you can order it from the factory. If you want to learn more, that's how you can reach us. We're still developing. Thank you very much for Accelerate Estonia, who helped us to get to the first pilots. It's been immense help for us. So I really encourage you to take part of the program. Thank you.
Thank you also, Rene, and I encourage also still you as well to take part of our piloting projects. And last cherry on a cake is Triin from a company called Clanbeat. So I welcome you here on the stage.
Hi everyone, my name is Triin and I'm coming from a company called Clanbeat. And it's an honor to talk about the topic which is about well-being of all of us, today and in the future, and something that can really make or break us with all our wonderful ideas. I invite you to think particularly about the youth well-being, which is part of our critical future and the times to come. We know already today that about 50% of the mental health issues actually start before the age of 14. We also know from the data internationally that in Estonia particularly, every third student between 11 and 15 years of age is already experiencing quite severe mental health issues. And in Estonian example, it's about 3% of the GDP that we are already now having at stake of the different mental health costs as a society. In the countries around us, especially in Europe, it goes up to 5% of the GDP. And that is why we think it is critical to act in this field. And it's also not so easy to do it from the business perspective sometimes, but nevertheless, the mission is really critical. And with ClanBeat, we have realized that actually one of the biggest issues that we do not have enough timely data about the well-being of our young people. And so we want to improve the ways we address and tackle mental well-being by having the data ready for this, the people themselves, the young people, but also for the schools, for the local governments and the school owners, and also for the state. This can inform better action. And how we do it. So we would like to base it on a systemic practice, which is that at least once a month, we take just a few minutes to think about our well-being. And the resulting data can inform ourselves as well as the system to act. So it really takes 3 to 5 minutes for the students. And also we are putting the focus on the school staff members, who are the ones that have daily contact with our young people, so that they can be better aware of how they are doing and how they're feeling. Based on that data, we provide personalized recommendations and ideas of what could be done next, and also an empathetic feedback to make sure that everyone knows that they are not alone in the struggles. On the second tier, there's the way for data to reach the schools so they would know how the different groups are doing, and also where to put their attention first. And if they decide to do anything, they would also have the way to really low cost way to assess the feedback and impact of the measures that they are taking. And this can be from schools to go to local governments and also to the state level, but we are monthly in touch with the students. And this we see as the source of getting our mental health better due to sharper and faster decision making. What we've done so far is that we have really worked with a team of experts nationwide to set out this framework. We have built connections through the ecosystem because we are also acting as a bridge to different stakeholders and service providers so that they can actually provide better help to the students and the schools. And we have, thanks to the support of Accelerate Estonia team, been doing 2 experiments already on the field, engaging 15% of Estonian schools. That is about 5,000 students and close to 1,000 teachers already within 9 months. And currently we are in the stage of pilot 3 with about 28, actually to be exact, 28 schools that are already paying for us. And our baseline sustainability in Estonia is to achieve close to 75 schools then that we can actually proceed to continue our activities. Some examples of impact. Quite early on, we already heard of the students who actually are still here with us today because of the recommendations and the feedback they got. We also know that the schools are able to already engage the parents better in the youth well-being as well, because sometimes that is not something that happens intuitively. What we want to do next is to get more support, more extensive coverage in schools, personalized feedback, and efficient support for the schools to act better, and the students and the local government. We need you to think of if there's any connection that you can make, any ideas for a strategic partnership to create this social impact that is really in great need. And please feel free to reach out to us. Let's create the revolution here in this field together, despite the lack of some typical market forces, but that's especially why it's challenging and important. Thank you.
So thank you so much, Trine, and all the other speakers from our experimental teams. And so if you go home, you're not going to go home tonight, maybe not that early, and you don't have time to think about the big dots today. But if you go home tomorrow, then I want you to think about one thing. And this thing is that please think with us how we could make the next illegal things legal in Estonia. and how we could really push innovation so that, again, the regulatory barriers wouldn't be created before we can actually push the innovation. So from my side, a massive thank you. And if anybody needs help from us, then reach out to Accelerate Estonia and let's push the innovation even further. So thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. Don't go away. I hope there are lots of people in the stream. You already know what I'm talking about. You know about all the startups. But since 3 of our startups couldn't join in, then I wanted to do what I really like the most and start from the 19th of century, from Nietzsche especially. Because he said that he who has a reason to live for can bear almost anyhow. Which means that if you have a specific goal in your life, then definitely all the obstacles are easier to manage. And nothing represents this idea as loud and clear as our dear startups coming to the stage now. There are 4 of them. Our dear alumni, everything, especially the financial performance in cleantech today supports this idea that, you know, cleantech founders are more adaptable to change and to financial hardships, because cleantech is definitely a field to invest in. This is also what 60% of the institutional investors say, that their cleantech assets and ESG assets are performing better already today. Also, public trade numbers are shedding the light how cleantech performs better than any other field. So, are you ready? Anyway, I'm very proud to now welcome to the stage our first startup from energy, and energy is actually responsible for 50% of the emissions in Central Eastern Europe, but only 1.3% of investments go into the field. So there's a gap, and all the investors listening to us, it's yours to preach now. And I welcome on the stage Fabio, Nicolo, Renewcast, the man who knows how to tame the wind, right?
Thank you. Yeah, the wind, the sun, the prices. Hi, everybody. I'm Fabio Nicolò from Renewcast, CEO and founder. Basically, Renewcast offers a wind power generation forecasting services that is aiming to reduce by 80% a 25 billion euro unbalancing cost for global level for the energy operation. And the problem is that energy needs balance on the network everywhere. Balancing energy in, energy out, every second, everywhere. And this balance requires reliable forecasting, which is not the problem today. It's not the situation today. Forecasting has an error in day ahead, a global level between 12 and 80%, which translates into 25 billion euro cost. Now, we offer a forecasting as a service with 5% of the error. So like up to 5 times better than competition. And this has been tested basically on the market. Our platform is doing some sort of magic, some sort of crystal ball with some unique technological feature, from basically metadata forecasting optimization to wind turbine local behavior. So we basically model to the geographical point how the turbine behaves. And this actually has an impact on the environment, because when you balance better the network, you don't need to gas turbine fire, so you save CO2 emission. And with our solution, is basically we could save up to 30 million of CO2 emission a year. Now, we have a business model which is actually disruptive, based on premium price, premium service performance, based on share risk, and this translates into a premium price point up to €500,000 gigawatt. We have a market at between 2 and 10 billion euro at global level, based on clients like utilities, TSOs, traders, service provider. And we have a competitive advantage that is based on reliability of performance and a business model which is unique. Against our competitor, basically we are targeting 10-15% of the market in 2030. Market-wise, our targets are confirmed as best of market. Our price per premium performance is already accepted, and we have clients that are testing and they are ready to start commercial service within this year. We have a roadmap that will put us on the market by October, and we will be basically profitable by end of year. Our business plan projects around 100 million, which is 10% of the target market, 80% EBITDA, highly scalable in terms of fixed cost, and most importantly, the growth of the first 3 years is based on action and contact and access to market that is already consolidated. A team that, I would say a dream team, it's our team, but that has everything it takes to be successful, starting from commitment, resilience, executive and operational experience, and IT experience in machine learning, AI, artificial intelligence, and an ecosystem that is based on market access and also technology development. We are looking for more or less 400,000 euro for a post-money of more 4 million, and we are committing to short and mid-term interesting KPI that will be basically profitable by the end of the year. Thank you to reach out.
Thank you, Fabio. Oftentimes it's where the problem is the hardest, the solutions are the best, right? So I'm really happy that the next team, Trashify, found their way to Estonia to start from here and go all the way to solve the biggest problem, or one of the biggest problems of our now biggest country in the world, so India, and this is of course the waste problem. So happy to introduce to the stage Nikita and Trashify, super committed and amazing team.
Hi, I'm Nikita, and with Trashify, we help material recovery facilities streamline their operations. These facilities lack the accurate information needed for making decisions that can help generate more revenue. Trashify's AI-powered computer vision detects and identifies 100% of the waste in material recovery facilities. This data can be viewed on our web-based dashboard and includes the material composition, the revenue generation capacity, all of the information about the waste streams that can help them generate actionable insights. This information can be used by facilities to position their existing workforce in a way that can maximize their material recovery efficiency and hence their revenue generation. Over time, it can also help them predict the incoming waste stream for the following day. If these predictions differ from the actual waste stream, then within the same day, the reinforcement learning algorithm that we are developing can help realign the workforce. We developed the software that can be embedded onto NVIDIA Jetson devices, and by retrofitting them onto sorting lines, we can improve the processes of an entire facility. Our business model is a monthly subscription to our software, and the pricing for this will depend on the region. In Europe and India, we're currently in conversation with waste management organizations to install pilots across several facilities within their regions. These pilots will help us develop our technology further, and due to their centralized nature, we have the ability to expand our operations across their facilities within a year without incurring any additional customer acquisition costs. This could get us to an MRR of about 6,000 euros within this year. These pilots will also help us test out our succeeding technological solutions. The smart waste management industry has an annual growth rate of 20%. Within this market, Our competitors mainly focus on facilities that need a certain level of automation. We have the unique ability to deploy our product even in facilities that are purely human dependent and enable them to make data-driven decisions. Trashify was founded by three friends based on a mutual interest in sustainability, despite a diverse set of backgrounds. By Q4 next year, we aim to have an MRR of about 50,000 euros from about 100 facilities across our markets. For this, we're raising a pre-seed round of 500,000 euros. We at Trashify don't see waste. We just see untapped resources. After all, it's trash can, not trash can't. Thank you, and feel free to reach out to me and my co-founder who's sitting right there, right after this.
Thank you. And next up will be Croatia's second unicorn, right? Second? Third? Already. So they got one more in between, but we know the first one well, right? This will be something from the energy sector, actually the sexiest part of energy innovation these days, so direct air capture. And Marco, the floor is yours and the clicker is yours, Marco, and Nuoto.
Hi everyone, I'm Marco. Let me tell you about Nuoto. So what do? We remove CO2 from the surrounding air, and by doing so we lower the carbon footprint of buildings and we remove pathogens and allergens. Buildings produce 40% of CO2 emissions globally, which was 16 billion tons last year. Buildings also cover 3% of Earth's surface, but current CO2 removal solutions don't fit inside them. So what can absorb CO2 from the air and already fits inside buildings? Nuoto, a smart active IoT panel that draws in surrounding air. CO2 from this air is broken down into carbon and oxygen. The carbon is bound to our catalyst, while the oxygen is released with the rest of the stream. This way, Nuoto keeps CO2 levels low and oxygen levels high, which allows your employees for improved productivity, overall better well-being, and less sick leave. Along with CO2, we're capturing the other bad guys: viruses, bacteria, pollen, dust. Basically, it's like having a tree with a power cord inside your office. To produce one Nuoto panel, we must emit 10 kilograms of CO2. But after only 4 months, each Nuoto panel becomes carbon negative because we cancel out 37 kilograms of CO2. And with further research, we're going to have an even bigger impact. So how big is the market we're looking at? And what is it? Carbon capture, of course. To fight climate change, we need to remove 16 billion tons of CO2 each year, which means the market is worth trillions globally and billions locally. First, we're going to approach Estonian, Norwegian, and Finnish markets because of the developed startup ecosystem, the pro-environment mindset, and because we have already potential business partners in the area. How will we make money? First, we're going to rent our panels to potential users, owners of buildings, public or office spaces, and that's the first revenue stream. The biggest revenue stream, though, will be carbon removal, because we're looking at keeping an eye on the European Union legislation, and of course, we're getting a lot of parameters through IoT, so data trading is going to be a third revenue stream. As you can see, so far with the grants, we successfully went from idea on paper to proof of concept to alpha prototype phase. But how do we get there? How do we spread Nuoto worldwide? First, we're going to get the testimonials from the pilot projects held at the premises of our early adopters. Then we're going to offer free case studies for the first 50 show of interest. And we're also looking at partnership and licensing to produce globally Nuoto locally and be a truly zero-mile product. For this reason, we intend to develop a beta prototype, produce a small batch that will be installed in pilot projects held at the premises of early adopters who already gave us letters of intent. For that reason, we're raising 500K as a mix of investments and grants that will be used in these 5 verticals. This is us, and this is Nuoto. I bet you 500K that you won't find a better indoor solution for CO2 capture. Find a umbrella.
Yes, go talk to Marco and you will have fun. And I bet like you can't find better use cases for this 500K anyway. But when people think that clean tech or hardware solutions, moving physical assets and people is low and scales up not so fast, then next up is a startup that really proves that this is bullshit. I think one of the fastest scaling clean tech startups in Estonia, Anna Maria from Beast. Ba-ba!
Yo, yo, yo. Okay, let's get this party on the roll. So, very grateful to be here today. My name is Anna Maria. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Beast, a company that enables anyone to rent a Tesla in less than 5 minutes. And did you know that people across the globe spend more than 2.5 hours just waiting at car rental desks whenever they travel? And that the typical vehicle spends at least 92% of its entire lifespan just doing nothing, just sitting there. In a moment, I'm going to give you a little bit of insight into how, at Beast, we made the connection between these two seemingly unrelated facts. If you look at this slide, you might feel a little bit overwhelmed. Me and my co-founder, Misha, created Beast because there was not any service out there that we would actually love and use. Yet, even in 2021, we saw that the entire market volume of shared vehicles was already nearing $700 billion, and right now it's more than a $1 trillion industry. So when we realized that there were other people out there that shared these frustrations with us, we knew that we had to fix the problem and seize the opportunity. Technically, we do 3 things. Instant rentals, open the app, book a car, get in. Pre-booking, so book ahead, book it for Tallinn Airport, drive it to Prague Airport, get on the next plane. Peer-to-peer, which I will touch on in just a moment. We currently operate in 5 countries and 13 cities. We are preparing expansion into a lot more European countries and eyeing global expansion. Now, peer-to-peer, or Beast Partners as we call it, is to our knowledge the world's first premium peer-to-peer service where we take all the hassle off of the vehicle owner's shoulders. The significant scaling advantage that we have is that we're able to onboard new partners into our platform in less than 1 minute through our existing app because we don't need to install any additional IoT devices. We launched this very recently. We're gaining a lot of good traction because people are realizing that very similarly to the Airbnb model, they are now able to turn their typically depreciating asset into a profitable one. We are in the business of serving purpose through profit. People have already traveled more than 2 million kilometers with Beast, and collectively we've been able to avoid more than 270 tons of CO2. Our vision is to become everyone's #1 choice for driving by providing the most awesome experience possible. To date, we've raised 4.8 million euros, and if you'd like to learn more about the opportunities with Beast, I encourage you to find me and have a little chat. I thank you.
Anna Maria, do you know that you have a new user group for Beast? And these are the geologists or the stone researchers, because you can sometimes get a Beast for free, right? To bring it from Latvia, for instance, to Estonia, and they are really using it.
That is true. We have a Beast community, and that community is very big and very supportive and very helpful. And there's definitely some very nice bonuses for being a member of that community, so look it up.
So as you saw, then in cleantech you have the best lineup, right? And if you're an investor, then actually in these 10 years now, you have the responsibility to invest only in cleantech, because we need this capital, 5 trillion a year actually to reach the net zero goal. And if you're a startup, then you might have understood that we are a cleantech accelerator, and we are having this open call and really looking forward to all the clean ideas to apply. And with that said, stay clean, right?
So, hello everyone. I'm just gonna breathe first. I'm a little bit nervous. So, my name is Daria. Welcome to the next half an hour with the Health Founders. So, the last time we were at Latitude community stage was last year. So, I'm gonna tell you what has changed, but also to those who haven't heard about Health Founders, I'm going to do a little intro. Right, so Health Founders is the first vertical health tech accelerator in Baltics. We started about 3 years ago, so right now we are at our 4th batch. Our programs are about 8 to 9 months. And I want to give a huge shout out actually to the people who started Health Founders. I'm not sure if they're here, but Erki Mölder and Siim Saare. So they are the founding partners of Health Founders Accelerator. Right, so going back to, I hope you can hear me. So what is Health Founders and what do we offer to the startups? So we have expert mentors, unique program, community hub, industry partners, and investment community. So our program that we offer to the startups, we tailor it to every batch that we get. It's digital first. So the startups don't need to be in Estonia to attend the program. And actually, it's interesting how we started the first batch and now the 4th batch, and to see how with every batch we have more teams outside of Estonia. So that definitely helps that we have the digital first program. So the way we have built the program is also that it goes step by step. And teaches everything a health tech startup would need. So we have, in each month, we have a workshop, we have a community event, we have roadmap sessions, many other things. I'm not going to go into details more. So a little bit about the expert mentors. I have actually a slide also about this. 1 second. Right. So I think one of the core strengths in Health Founders are our mentors. I think we have really strong, wonderful boards of mentors. Actually, so sharing some news, we have 2 new lead mentors from our 4th batch now. So one of them is Professor Shahab Anbar-Shafari, who is actually sitting just here. Mr. Professor Anbar-Shafari is the founder of ICV Research Lab in University of Tartu, and a really great list of other great things. But he has also written more than 250 papers. Right. So huge welcome. We're really glad to have Shahab with us. And also another new lead mentor is Taavi Einaste. So Taavi Einaste is e-health and e-gov expert at Nortal, and also CEO at the Middle East and Africa region. Also, his experience is 20 plus years in health sector. So again, very happy to have him with us. A little bit about the fourth batch. I know I'm jumping from one topic to another one, but our fourth batch, so far it's the biggest batch that we've had. We have 7 startups in our fourth batch. Really interesting ideas, solutions. I would suggest that you follow us on LinkedIn because we're doing this intro interview sessions with all those 7 startups, so you can get to know them better. Right, I think I'm gonna go back. So yes, the program Mentors Community Hub. So we are located in Ülemiste Smart City, which helps us a lot, and it's a really good environment. We have 14,000 people working there, over 70 nationalities, and 500 plus companies. Across from us, where we are, we have a health center with around 300 specialist GPs, and they're actually building also a second larger health center. So the way it helps our startups is that when they need to test their products, instead of waiting for weeks or months to get those doctors to test their product, I can just give a call to the next building, house, and ask. And we've had many cases where, let's say, for the next day, we would get 10 nurses, doctors, to test the product. Or there was also, am I going, by the way, over time? Okay, it's 0. Just going to say a few words about the industry partners in investor community. So yeah, we have wonderful. Sorry, going back. Yeah, we have wonderful partners who help our startups. I'm not going to go more into details. Investor community. So one of our founding partners is also a health tech investor, and he's also a managing partner in a health tech fund. So we, with this knowledge and experience, and also the network, we have a great community of investors around us. Right. I'll move on from here. So after me, there will be Katrina Laks, who will come on the stage and talk a little bit about DTX Estonia. And after that, we have 4 amazing startups here who will pitch their solutions to you. And we can do also a Q&A session. And this is our 3 musketeers of health founders. So as I mentioned, 2 founding partners, Erki Mölder, Siim Saare. And you'll definitely see them around here in the next few days. And yeah, feel free to reach out to us, find us on Umbrella, and that's it. Thank you very much. I'm going to give the floor to Katrina.
Hi, nice to see you, everyone. I'm Katrina. I will be representing Microvention also, but at the moment I'm representing DTX Estonia. Who knows what DTX is? Oh, we have so many hands up. DTX Estonia is a Digital Therapeutics Manufacturers Association in Estonia, and there has been a great story with the association. We started it a little over a year ago, a year and 4 months, at Expo in Dubai. So the association was born outside of Estonia, and some of the companies, Microvention included, SpeakTX included, DermTest included, are the founding members of that association. But the news I want to share is that a little over a month ago, with the support of Startup Estonia, we started a new development program for DTX companies.
So if you know and understand what the digital therapeutic actually is, and you need a support in the development process, in the life cycle of that, contact me or any other founding member. Find the information from the webpage of DTX Estonia, DTX Estonia. I think it's com, and join the program. The next session will be on 7th of June. It's all online. You can watch the previous sessions, and let's develop Estonia as the next. Let's develop Estonia's next moonshot as the digital therapeutics industry. And if interested, join us tomorrow morning, 10:15, at the main stage. So thank you, and the floor is for Birgit from SpeakDX.
Okay, so hello from my side as well. It's very nice to see you all here. I am Birgit, the co-founder and CEO of SpeakDX. And we are on a mission to increase access to speech therapy services and also empower speech therapists to provide the best possible care to their patients. So we are building a digital speech therapy platform. The number of people who need support with their speech is increasing in time. 64% of stroke patients have a speech difficulty that needs to be assessed and treated. But on the other hand, there is a global lack of speech therapists. Limited resources and lack of access can result in a range of negative outcomes that can lead to severe mental health issues and also increased healthcare costs. So the need for innovation is urgent. Some digital health solutions already have been incorporated, such as teletherapy, but also different e-learning platforms and apps. But they lack the comprehensive approach to speech therapy, such as personalization, discipline, and also patient empowerment, features that are necessary for an effective therapy. The uniqueness of SpeakDX lies in the professionally designed exercise base that includes different modules to address a vast variety of speech disorders. We provide therapists with a comprehensive tool that can be used on almost all patients and speech disorders. Speech therapists have all the needed content in one place. The interactive exercises can be combined into personalized therapy plans and assigned to each patient. What is more, all the sessions can be done online with the help of SpeakDX. And our latest addition actually is the interdisciplinary care module to empower professionals to collaborate more. We have general speech development modules that support pronunciation, writing, grammar, reading, and much more. And also very clinical modules that address very specific speech disorders, such as aphasia, dysphagia, dysarthria, dyslexia, stuttering, and much more. We have thousands of users already connected through our nearly 200 P2P customers. And our users are patients, post-traumatic patients, or also patients with neurological impairments, and on the other hand, specialists, mainly speech therapists. We are currently implementing SpeakDX in 5 markets, and we are continuously investigating new opportunities as well. Our strategy is to create a local team of speech therapists and sales talents, localize the platform, onboard our first customers, and scale. Currently, SpeakDX is already available in Estonia, Latvia, Georgia, and will be soon launched in Lithuania and Germany. And our next target market will be United Kingdom. With SpeakDX, we help to provide a consistent and systematic treatment. And with that approach, we can help to actually reduce the total length of the treatment and also increase the effectiveness of it. Our next milestones will be building a data-driven machine learning algorithm to create automatic and continuously evolving personalized therapy plans. And with that approach, we will be able to provide a very high-level individualized therapy for each patient. This is our core team. we bring together international expertise in e-health, e-learning, business development, sales, and also, of course, speech therapy. Currently, in our team, we have already 13 speech therapists. So if you want to learn more about SpeakTX, feel free to connect, write to me, and I'm happy to answer later any questions you might have and also to have a discussion about speech therapy. Thank you so much.
alustasime päriselt nagu siis, kui äppi veel
Does someone have a question to Birgit about SpeakTX?
Yeah, a very small question. You already said that you are now will work on the machine learning aspects and so on, but have you started to do some basic things like using some APIs, using this generative AI to create some reports for the people so they can improve the way that they are speaking and so on, or not yet?
So this will be our next milestone, so we are now moving towards it. We are going through our whole data strategy. We have a lot of data that we can already use, and we are mapping out exactly what we need in order to provide this kind of algorithm and this kind of therapy plans. So we are in a very beginning of this journey.
Okay. What is a lot of data?
So we have actually nearly 10,000 users on our platform, and we collect data about how to use the platform, what are the results of the exercises, what type of exercises are assigned to what type of patients, etc. And we want to build it in a way that actually we can make decisions based on that data, because right now we rely a lot on speech therapists. But
with the permission to use the data, right?
Yeah, of course. You know, GDPR.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
I saw one more question.
Sorry.
My question is, do you use the anonymized data to sell them to other research companies and make money for that so that you can develop faster and easier?
No. At the moment, we are not doing it, and at the moment, we are not planning to do it as well.
Yeah. Well, I asked the question because I want to start with a health app, and which would be available globally, free of charge. And I would like to make money by selling the anonymized data to pharma and other research companies who ask me and who are candidate to buy them for big money.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think that's feasible?
It might be, but I think when it comes to this kind of approach, I'm not a specialist in that field, but happy to have further discussion about it. But this is not the approach that we have at the moment. So we protect all the data we have on the platform, and we are not giving it out.
Well, I'm an applied economist and financial guy, so that's why.
All right, so up next we have Anna-Liisa Kubo. She's managing director and co-founder of Nanordica Medical.
Hello. Nanordica Medical is a company that cures infected wounds more effectively than the current best on the market. We work on a mission to cure chronic wounds because they are often infected, and it's especially relevant problem among diabetics because they are at higher risk. Each year, 10 million amputations are made among diabetics due to bacterial infections, and this is additional cost to healthcare. Current solutions such as antibiotics and silver-based wound dressings, they are not good enough to solve this problem, and thus new solutions are needed on the market. The founders of Nanordica Medical, me, Olesia, and Grigori, we met at the National Institute of Chemical Physics and Biophysics, where we did research together. And during one project, we discovered that two kinds of nanoparticles, they have synergistic antibacterial efficacy. And based on that discovery, we developed a technology that is 8 times better than the current best on the market. It improves wound healing and is effective against antibiotic-resistant bacteria. The preclinical data has good evidence showing 26 times better efficacy compared to the solutions that don't have antibacterial components, and 8 times better efficacy compared to the best on the market. Our innovation is in the wound contact layer that contains nanoparticles and fibers. Our wound dressing can be produced at a reasonable cost. It has unique value proposition as it acts against a wide range of bacteria. It has better safety compared to silver, and it has shorter treatment times. We have very attractive market. We focus on chronic wounds, but also for surgical wounds, veterinary, and defense sector. Our business model is B2B, and we conduct joint R&D research projects to develop products together. We validate the products by engaging key opinion leaders in hospitals in Estonia and elsewhere. And in parallel, we produce our own product. We do a brand that carries our value, that is generating scientific evidence to produce very good products that are the best. And from there, we choose the ones that could be an option for exit scenario. We have an excellent team with core competencies necessary, and in focusing on nanotoxicology, in business, in R&D and industry, in medicine, regulations, and commercialization. We have been awarded with several grants and awards, and of which the most well-known is the EIC Accelerator that we received last year. And we also closed our first investment round at the beginning of this year, and we are looking for investments for the next round in 2024, where half of the funding is already committed of 4 million euro that we are looking for. So join our team as a mentor, as a collaborator, or as an investor. Thank you.
Does anyone have a question to Annalisa about Nanortica Medical? No? Okay, all right. Thank you, Annalisa. So up next, we have Katrina Laks, CEO and co-founder of Microvention.
Hi again. Nice to be here to represent Microvention, the first fully digital headache clinic in the world. I usually start my talks with the question, does anybody have migraines? So I feel you. I know what you feel, I know what you have been through. I have had migraines for more than 18 years now. Microvention is an Estonian software as a medical device manufacturer company, and we are developing the tools to help you. But you're not the only people in the room. There are over 1 billion people in the world suffering, and 42 million migraine attacks happen actually every day. Migraine is a very costly disease. 155 billion euros are the socioeconomic costs around migraine. The costs that we usually don't see and what are on top of the pharmaceutical costs that affect us directly. But the major issue in this migraine management pathway lies actually there where only 1 to 4% of the people affected can get the treatment in evidence-based healthcare system. Migraine market is boosting. Since 2018, new medications directed to migraine treatment, CGRPs, monoclonal antibodies, were brought to market. This brought a change also to migraine as a digital therapeutic market, and that market is also growing in the same pace. What are digital therapeutics? We started that after Daria talked about health founders, but this is a new kind of medicine which is also applicable in primary headache care to manage, prevent, and treat a broad spectrum of disorders. We are in the beginning of our journey. We have the patient app with over 6,700 users and over 40,000 migraine episodes in the application. And now we are bringing to market the second step of the solution, where we empower also the specialist side. We make their workflow 10 times more efficient. But we are not stopping there. We're bringing to market the digital therapeutic for migraine treatment and management in 2024. And it includes the diagnostic support, psychotherapy, and physiotherapy as a DTX tool. I told you about the users, but you have to remember the facts that 42% of our users have migraines every week, and 10% of our users are chronic migraine patients having more than 8 migraine days per month. Our solution has multiple coming to market ways. Mainly we use B2B SaaS model, but also bringing to market the private insurance employer model through Estonian private insurance providers. We aim to reach up to 16 million patients in our target markets in 5 years. This is our roadmap. You can see that in our next plans is to get the clinical study in UK going and get this private insurance coverage for microvention in Estonia validated. Also start a pharma pilot in Europe and get the regulatory approval for the DTX, the second class medical device in EU. We are raising at the moment 300K as a bridge round to start sales in EU, but also tackle a regulatory development for our next feature. Our team is a team of experts in the headache field in Estonia, both patient and specialist side, but we recently onboarded an advisory board from international headache specialist and patient organization side. Thank you. Headache matters.
Okay. Do we have some questions? Do you have some questions to Katrina about microvention, headaches? No. Okay. All right. So next up, thank you very much, Katrina. Up next we have derm tests and Anneli Lebert, who is product manager at derm test. Give it up for Anneli. Yes, thank you.
Hello, my name is Anneli Lebert and I am product manager in DermTest, the visual first medical software. Current healthcare processes do not account for human needs for visual perception and the opportunities that the visual data management brings. We in DermTest provide the right digital tools to enable easy visual data management so it would be meaningfully perceivable later. We have over 200,000 clinical cases managed currently in DermTest and around 200 monthly active users who use our software for supporting detection of the disease, treatment and the disease, and monitor disease outcomes. We leverage the opportunity that the visual data management brings, and we bring it to the care processes in the right way. And we have proven it works. We value science-based approach, which is why we have published numerous scientific articles. The latest one was Countrywide Teledermoscopy Service, which was published last month. The current psoriasis remote adherence article is in review. But our software is not only used for skincare. The specialists from 15 different specialties use our software for improving wound care outcomes, for tracking surgery outcomes, for screening rheumatology diseases, and so on. We start with B2B SaaS model and move forward with B2B2G and B2B2C model, depending on the market. In order to provide more value to patients and help our clients to earn more through reimbursements and private payments. Our go-to-market strategy includes mainly outbound marketing. We start with onboarding one use case and then roll out other use cases and expand across care levels and care models. We have established our presence in Estonia. We have 67 care providers, from public hospitals to private practices, from GP practices to home nurses. We are taking off in Germany with 8 care providers currently, and we are hoping to build the direct-to-clinician hands-off sales model globally. In Germany, we have a quite unique market presence at the moment, where we have contracts with both public and private insurances for skin cancer screening service. And 13 growth experiments are in progress to understand which use cases can be followed. We want to implement more AI solutions to our software, which is why we are collaborating with external partner to enable AI for diagnosis hypothesis in the future. And internally, we are building a patient-facing application with a dermatologist suggestion engine to manage complex dermatology diseases. The clinical study will start in autumn. We have a breach round for open, and we are keeping an eye of a seed round in the third quarter this year. This is our skillful team who are ready to bring visual data management to healthcare practitioners. This is Termtest, the visual first medical software. Thank you.
Thank you, Anneli. Anyone has a question for Anneli about Termtest? No? Okay. Then, thank you. I'm just going to say a few words more. I mean, I mentioned before that you can find us here at the venue through Brella, or on LinkedIn. And yeah, I guess what else I wanted to mention at the beginning, that we're really happy that we're able to present Health Founders here and showcase our startups. Also very happy that 4 of our startups got into top 42 at the pitching contest, and also one of those 4 startups got into top 10. So yes, that's it. Thank you very much.